Welcome back. It is Tuesday, May 7th, and the MLB. Our five best bets are on the way, including some Dinger Tuesday plays. We'll talk about those in a second. It's Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday. 0-3. And you knew it was going to be 0-3. Let's talk about it. Giants and Phillies under 4.5 first five. I'm taking a lot of courage to come on here and actually record with Logan because one run through 4.5 innings. Then, of course, they score 4 in the bottom of the fifth. And that is how I lose. Just painful. And then, of course, if that was going to happen, at least Bohm would have gotten a hit, right? No. Bohm was like the only Philly yesterday that didn't get a hit, so we lost our hit parlay. Then Angels' first five money line was a donation as there was a grand slam. Just once the first two lost, you just knew it was going to be an 0-for-3 day. That's just typically how it goes. We know it hasn't been a great start to the season. We know over the past 2 years, I believe 2 years ago, we were up 50 units. Last year, we were up 31 units. We know how this thing goes. There's going to be some cold stretches. We can't tell you when the hot streak's going to start. Logan and I are very confident that eventually it's going to start. We've lost in every different imaginable way. That Phillies loss really sucked the soul out of me. But we're still going to keep grinding. That really should have been a winner, and I'm going to pretend like it was a winner for my confidence sake. So we're going to dive into the picks. If you are new, like I said, my name's Austin. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. We're going to dominate the rest of the MLB season. Logan and I are putting in the work, and we're going to absolutely cook the books. We're pissed today. We're really, really pissed. But we're starting with Dinger Tuesday. If you don't know what Dinger Tuesday is, it is a FanDuel promo. You bet on a guy and make sure you opt in. That's number one. You bet on guys and different games that hit a home run. And even if they don't get a home run, you still get some bonus money back if other people hit a home run in that game. So, Logan, I'm going to let you lead it off with your Dinger Tuesday pick, and then I'll share mine. Who are you rolling with on this fine Dinger Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Dinger Tuesday time, and I'm going to a guy that hurt us good yesterday. Yeah, I'm taking Bryce Harper of the Phillies, plus 285 is your best, your FanDuel odds for this promotion. Yeah, Bryce Harper is a great sinker pitcher, or a great sinker hitter, and Jose Barrios is a sinker ball pitcher. That's the pitch he'll be hunting for. And Bryce Harper is just so good at hitting at Citizens Bank Park. There's no reason to think he won't be able to get us a home run. But Austin, who you got for yours?
I'm going to a team that's really been struggling, and I'm going to Marcell Ozuna of the Braves. Obviously, the Braves have not been great recently, but coming back home here, facing Cutter Crawford, I'm just confident Ozuna, who has 10 homers on the year, finally ended his couple game homer drought last game versus the Dodgers. Like Ozuna, I just feel like there'll be one pitch leaving in the middle of the zone, and he'll send it. And even if he doesn't, I'm pretty confident some other Braves will get us some money back there too, because the Braves, obviously one of the better home run hitting teams, haven't really been doing so well at home. I don't even think Ozzy or Ronald Acuna have a homer at home. Eventually, that's going to change, and it could change today. We know how talented they are from hitting homers from 1 through 9. I like Ozuna. Also, I could see some Red Sox hitting some homers too off Ronaldo Lopez too. So I like that game over under at 9. Should be some home runs. Hopefully, Marcell Ozuna at plus 285 is one of them. Now I'm going to segue into our regular picks that we track towards our record. First one, as always, it is our hit parlay of the day. We had hit 5 straight prior to yesterday. We're not going to let one day ruin our bad vibes and mojo. We're going to dive back in. It's on Odds Checker. It's linked in the description, end of the video, and at the pinned comment. We'll have it posted pretty quickly after this video drops. So definitely go tap into that. It will be linked, like I said, down there. Playing each of those for 1 unit. Been pretty profitable this season on those hit parlays. Now, my first pick of the day, I'll start with, technically that's our first pick. We'll go to the second pick. I really like this team to cover this line, and I'm taking the Orioles -0.5 in the first 5 innings. Currently -130 on DraftKings. Personally, I think this closes closer to -150, maybe even worse than that. I've seen some books even moving it up to -1.5. All we need is the Orioles to win by 1 after the first 5 innings. I don't care what happens in the 6th and beyond, as long as they're leading by 1 run after 5. I think we got a good chance here. I like the Orioles full game run line, but typically I'm just going to take their -1.5. I think that's where they have the biggest edge here. The bullpens, if you wishy-washy. I mean, Orioles bullpen has been pretty good. Nats hasn't been great, but Nats still has some solid bullpen arms in there. I think the Orioles lead by 1 through 5 as they have Corbin Burnes starting on the mound, 2.61 ERA and a .92 whip. I don't need to tell you Corbin Burnes has been pretty good, but the Nationals have struggled against him. 50 plate appearances total, a .198 expected batting average with over 32 K percentage. That's not great. And then on the other side, you see you see Trevor Williams. Trevor Williams on the year, 2.27 ERA and a 1.17 whip. He's been really good, but there's some regression coming for Trevor Williams. The last 2 starts, he's allowed 7 and 9 base runners. The only issue is only 1 earned run to show for it from those offenses. That was against the Marlins and a Rangers team that really wasn't hitting the ball well when he saw them. Now the Rangers have kind of figured things out over the last few days, but this is an Orioles team that if you're going to put on base runners, which you walked 4 guys last time, you're going to give up some singles, maybe some extra base hits. Orioles is a team that I do trust to get those timely hits. Last year, they were number 1 with hitting with runners in scoring position. Batting average, they hit 287. This year, while they are 9th in batting average with runners in scoring position, they're still hitting 275. So it's still a team that's almost hitting identical to what they did last year. Is also, if you look at the books, they really think that Williams is due some regression. Not only do a lot of the Orioles have 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs lines, if you go to back any guy to hit a home run in this game, the top 8 hitters on FanDuel to hit a home run, all Orioles. If you also go to just back in the hit parlay, 8 of the top 9, all Orioles. So I really think this is an Orioles offense that will show up. They put up 11 runs in their last game, did get yesterday off. I think they put up some runs and give Corbin Burnes some run support. Corbin Burnes has allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 6 of his last 7 starts. So I think they get to Trevor Williams today is a little bit juiced. -0.5 in the first 5, sure, but I'll take the -130. I'm not going to get too cute backing a trash team. I'm taking the O's to lead by 1 after 5 innings. If you want to take the first 5 result, same exact thing on FanDuel. But that's my favorite pick of the day. Logan, I'm going to segue it to you for your favorite one. Which team are you riding with today?
I am riding with the Cubs on the money line, -140 odds on FanDuel is your best value. Now place this one pretty fast because this is a pretty square pick. But guys, you open up your sports book, you see Shota Imanaga on the mound. You probably knew where I would be in this one. We're 2-0 when backing the Cubs and Imanaga starts. I kind of wish I would have started backing him even earlier than that. I love Shota Imanaga. I love how he pitches. And the question is, do the Cubs give him run support today? Last time we backed him, they won 1-0. I think they give him a little bit more run support at Wrigley today. But let's talk about Imanaga because he's just been ridiculous. 0.78 ERA, 0.75 whip, unreal numbers, especially this far into the season. Still have a sub-1 ERA. He's been unhittable for a lot of the teams he's faced. And then you got the Padres too, which on paper, yes, they are a pretty solid lineup. They have hitters all throughout that lineup. But as a team, they're still only hitting 201 versus lefties this season. Imanaga is just so tough on lefty and righty bats for that matter. He's great at getting hitters to expand the zone. That's what I've been most impressed with his game. He's got hitters in a 2-strike count, and he's got them reaching way below the zone or way outside of the zone a lot of the time. He's 97th percentile in chase percentage, 72nd percentile in K percentage. Getting that very, very crucial strike 3 it shouldn't be understated how hard that is. Imanaga's been making it look very easy to start his career in the majors, and it's extremely impressive. I still think he'll be able to get through the Padres. They might tag him for a couple runs. This isn't going to be an Imanaga masterclass, but I still think he'll be good enough to get us the win in this one. And then we got on the other side, Randy Vasquez starts for the Padres, 5.87 ERA and a 1.83 whip. Yeah, Randy Vasquez is a straight fade for me. The question is actually how long does he go into this game? Because he got touched up in one of his starts. He didn't even make it 3 innings in that one. And then the other one, he went like 5 innings, pitched decent start. But we look at Vasquez. He's not a big strikeout guy, and he's allowed a home run in each of his 2 starts this year. Everyone, if you're a Yankees fan, you know who Randy Vasquez is. I know who Randy Vasquez is too. He makes too many mistakes. And against this Cubs team that yesterday did not capitalize on mistakes, they will get to Randy Vasquez today. Cubs were 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position yesterday. I opened the score app, just checking scores. I saw they had bases loaded, and I was like, oh, okay. Cubs are making a comeback. And I was like, what? What happened there? I mean, that's what happens. Sometimes you have those fluky games, and they can really turn you off of a team. But you have to remember, baseball is just kind of a law of averages. One day you're not able to get anything across the plate, and then the next day you hit more efficiently with runners in scoring position. The Cubs still as a team are hitting 258 at home this season. I want to back them when they're at Wrigley. They know how to play in this ballpark. They know where to hit, how to get hits, and extra base hits in this ballpark. I'm backing the Cubs. Each team still should have their bullpens available, but I'm expecting the Padres to actually have to go into their bullpen earlier because I'm expecting the Cubs to get 6 to 7 innings pitched out of Imanaga. He's just so efficient at getting pitches and not having to use a ton of bullpen arms. I think the Cubs are going to win this one. I think they're finally going to give Imanaga some run support because damn, we had to sweat last time I backed him and they won 1-0. Get some hits and runs up on Randy Vasquez. Go Cubs, go! Let's fly the W flag tonight. But Austin, you got another pick. Where else you going?
Yeah, I forgot to mention during our Dinger Tuesday plays, if either of our guys hit a home run, we'll give away $50. So Bryce Harper or Marcell Ozuna hit a home run, all you gotta do is hit the like button and subscribe. That's all you gotta do. Hopefully one of those two guys comes through and we'll pick out one person to give some money away to. But my next pick is actually gonna be a 2-leg parlay, so stick with me because one of the legs was a little bit too juiced, so I added my favorite juice reducer and we'll talk about that right now. I'm going to Zach Eflin. I really like his over and outs. It was 17.5. The problem with that 17.5, tad juiced. It was like minus 150, minus 160, and I don't really want to come on here and give out a minus 160 outs prop. However, I do think he goes obviously over 17.5 outs, and I'm parlaying that with Dodgers and Marlins under 6.5 in the first 5 innings. These were 2 picks. I really like the under 4.5 in the first 5, and if you know anything about my under picks, they always lose in terrible fashion. So we're buying a couple runs there with the 6.5, and I really think Eflin carves up the White Sox and gets us 6 innings pitched plus 121 on BetMGM. You can combine these two together. If Eflin's line is 18.5, probably would not take an 18.5 line. That's obviously a big difference going from 6 to now you need him to get into the 7th. But I really do think Eflin's in for a good outing today. And speaking of good outing, that's exactly the opposite of what he had last time he faced the White Sox. He went out there and he gave up 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned runs. One of them was unearned, but he still managed to get 6 innings pitched. And if there's anything I know about the Rays, they don't trust their bullpen at all. So we've seen Eflin so far this season, while he's only over 17.5 outs in 4 of 7 starts, 2 of them he ended with 17 on the dot, so he got real close but got rocked in that last inning. And I really think he'll be able to do his thing against the White Sox. 13 total, sitting at 2.5. It is juiced on the over, but it's a White Sox team that actually has hit pretty well at home, but they're on the road here in the Trop. White Sox are batting 188, 5th lowest, and have a WRC plus of 55, 4th lowest versus right-handed pitchers on the road over the past 2 weeks. I really think they struggle here. Eflin is a guy that's typically very efficient. If you look at his splits and you look how he normally pitches, this is a guy that's like 4th fewest pitches per inning, and he's just very efficient typically with his pitches. So I'm not too worried about the White Sox offense. They can tag him, but it's not a team that really walks a ton. They're not really sitting on pitches. They're just going to go out there swinging, and I think that Eflin will be able to be efficient through 6. Don't really care how well he pitches, but obviously the better he pitches, obviously the better for us if he can make it quick and easy instead of having to sweat going into the 5th or 6th inning. But I really think Eflin will be able to get the job done over 17.5 outs. And then why do I like the Dodgers and Marlins under 6.5 first 5? Well, on one side we have Yamamoto, who's been really good. He's actually allowed 0 earned runs in back-to-back starts, only 6 total earned runs in his last 33 innings pitched. Obviously, remember Yamamoto came over from South Korea, and then he did not play well in his first start, but he's been better as of late, and it's hard to see him first or second time through the order, and we've seen that, teams are kind of struggling out the gate against him, except for that Padres game, his first ever start in the MLB. I think he'll be able to hold down a Marlins offense that did get to Walker Buehler yesterday, but it's a much different task against a guy like Yamamoto, who has the put away pitches. I think he can do his thing today. The other side really need Edward Cabrera to pitch pretty well. Now, obviously, the Dodgers could go off. They could score 5 or 6 runs against Cabrera. As long as Yamamoto pitches pretty decently, we should have a shot here. But Edward Cabrera is a guy that, in my opinion, I like backing him. He's not the best guy in the MLB. I think he can go out there and be serviceable against the Dodgers lineup. I mean, the over-under for this game did drop from 8.5 or 9 last night all the way down to 8. I think Cabrera can go out there and do his thing. I'm not saying he shuts down the Dodgers. That'd be crazy. The Dodgers obviously a pretty hot offense right now, but Cabrera not afraid of walking guys, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Ohtani draws a walk today because he's been scorched earth. I think he'll be able to do his thing. He has some put away pitches that he can get the strikeouts if need be, and I just don't think the Dodgers tag him up for 4 or 5 earned runs. They could easily score 2, 3, maybe 4, but I just don't think he gives up a ton of earned runs. I think Yamamoto holds it down. So a 2-leg parlay plus 121 on BetMGM. Eflin over and out, parlayed with the Marlins and Dodgers alt under 6.5 first 5. I like the 4.5, but my luck lately is just, there'll be 1 run through 4.5 innings, and then boom, you just get spammed with 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th. I'm trying to buy a couple runs there. Obviously, if they go to 7 runs, it was just a terrible read, and I can live with that, but I much prefer buying those couple extra runs, plus parlaying it with Zach Eflin. I really like that one. But Logan, it is time. Nerfy Nation is back, and we need it for the vibes. Rock music's here, and the flags are out. We need this one. There's a couple we did consider today, but this is our favorite one. Go for 6 quick and easy outs, and this might be the only time we ever back a Nerfy in this stadium. So we're heading out to Coors Field, or we're taking the Nerfy in Coors, which is normally not a great bet to make, but it is Giants and Rockies taking the nowhere in first inning plus 105. The fact that this over-under is at 10.5 and the Nerfy was like minus 105, minus 106 on FanDuel, pretty good telltale sign that they don't expect a lot of good things from these two offenses. I do think that with time in Coors, the runs are going to come in, especially Giants bullpen has been hit or miss. Rockies bullpen has been terrible this season. And so I think runs eventually come in this game, but hopefully not in the first inning, as we're going to have Dakota Hudson lead things off for the Rockies. Hudson, not a guy I really trust a ton, but he has been good for Nerfy Nation. 5-1 on Nerfies this year, 3-0 in Coors Field, which is pretty good. And he's 11-1 last year. Obviously, he was not a Rockies pitcher last year, but it's been pretty good to Nerfy Nation. The Giants, 29th in first inning runs. The team really struggling to score in the first inning. Hudson, I need 3 outs. I know it's Coors. Wacky things can happen, but I think he can get us those first 3 outs. Who's going to take us home in the bottom half of the inning, Logan?
Yeah, it's going to be the lefty, Kyle Harrison. He starts for the Giants today. Now, Harrison, just like Hudson, kind of sneaky good on Nerfies. 6-1 on Nerfies, 4-0 on the road and on Nerfies. You like to see that for Kyle Harrison. He faces a Rockies offense that is 17th in first inning runs. They've had their fair share of games where they've scored a lot in the first inning, but more often than not, it's a 0. And I'm hoping Kyle Harrison delivers that again to us today. Rockies offense, they just are uninspiring. Giants offense, very uninspiring. Nerfy Nation, let's fly the flags. Let's get an easy plus value Nerfy today.
We don't take many plus value Nerfies, but this one is smacking. Rockies and Giants, nowhere in first inning, plus 105. Let's have a wonderful day, and let's obviously bounce back after yesterday's debacle. We've had way too many reverse sweeps this season. In fact, we're only down 3.5 units is honestly mind-blowing, given we probably had like 8 reverse sweeps. But we're dialing in. We're going to dominate the rest of the season. We're getting hot. Those are our 5 favorite picks of the day. Our 5th one, if you want to go check out the hit parlay, that's going to be linked on the screen once it is live. Go check it out. Austin Logan signing out. See you guys back again tomorrow. Peace.